everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. The first few clips show what I'm going to be going through today. I've got to be really honest with you. A lot of what I've done today, I've not felt at all motivated. Not quite sure why that is. Normally I would kind of expected to have felt really enthusiastic and keen to get stuff done. Just not really feeling very motivated at all. So if you're feeling like this, this might be a good video for you to put on and work alongside me. For those of you that body double and need to kind of listen to a podcast or have something playing that you can focus on. So this morning, Monday morning, I woke up feeling extremely tired. My husband was watching the American football last night and I sat up till quite late, so that's past midnight. So when I woke up, I felt really tired, like I needed to sleep for like another 4 hours. And as I woke up, I thought to myself, after the school run, I'm not going to go to Tesco, I'm going to come back and sleep. But of course, once you're up and out, that feeling soon passes by. Well, it does for me anyway. So I did the school run. I came back very briefly and kind of just sat on the sofa, just looking around and thinking, oh my goodness, all this Christmas stuff that I need to do, and I haven't really got much time to do it, I feel. Then I went to Lidl's and I went to Tesco and got some shopping in. Meanwhile, I was trying to sort out an appointment for us to go over to Great Yarmouth to see a solicitor, and they only came back and said, oh, we can make 2 o'clock. So I had to double check my husband could still make that time and just take a late lunch. So he was fine to do that. And then I got a message from my daughter to say, I'm at school until 6:30 for a rehearsal to do with the Christmas performance. I was like, oh my goodness, is there no way that she comes out of school so hungry. Usually I take her like a whole pepper cut in slices. I know that's not very filling, but as soon as she comes out, she has something to eat. So I thought, right, okay, so I need to pack her some food up to take her. So that sort of made the day a little bit more complicated. And like I said before, she does get very tired. And so I'm trying to get more calories into her. And it's quite difficult. I actually think it's really hard to increase your calorie intake without giving a child what I consider not a very good diet. So things like sweet potatoes rather than potatoes for like wedges. Just trying to find ways, of course, giving her a piece of cucumber and pepper, probably, you need to use more calories to eat it than what you actually... But she's, she's going through a bit of a growth spurt at the moment, so I was thinking about that. So I came home with all the shopping. Again, I sat down, didn't really feel like doing anything, but knew I had to put the stuff away. I had to put the freezer things away. I had to sort stuff out. And then I thought, oh, the fridge is a muddle. The fridge is a mess. There's loads of things at the back which I need to take out of the fridge that really needs to be completely cleaned, but I haven't got time to do that. So lots of things were going through my mind. I'm sure you all have that, don't you? When you feel like you've got so many things to do. And then I also kept thinking about tomorrow, because tomorrow I've got a meeting first thing, then I'm going over to Yarmouth, then I'm going all the way into Norwich. So tomorrow I'm here, there and everywhere. So I guess, you know that feeling where you end up spending a lot of time thinking about things? It's a bit like, I said the other day, you can spend a lot of time thinking, I'm behind with Christmas, rather than kind of just getting on and getting the stuff done. Like every year, I think about sending the Christmas cards every single day leading up to Christmas. And then, as I've told you all, that gets so close, I then have to send everything first class, which I'm not going to do this year. So you can see in the video, I'm looking at the fridge and just kind of thinking, what should I do? And then I realised the front panel really needed a good clean. I haven't done as much as what I want to do with that because I do need to take all the drawer. What happens is there's a section at the back. Well, the fridge is designed so there's a section, like a basket sort of section underneath where you put all the fruit and veg. But that's a ridiculous idea because what happens is there's a drip section and the drip section then goes into that kind of dip, that basket section. so which I don't consider very healthy. So I actually don't use that section at all. But I realised all the bit at the front, I went along, used some cocktail sticks and just cleaned out a lot of the little ledges. And how I get distracted, after I'd done that, I then made the floor messy, dirty, because there were bits that then came out that I'd scraped off. So I thought, oh, I'll get the dustbin and brush out. So then I went to get the dustbin and brush and found that the stand-up one had collapsed on the floor and all the stuff in the pan had fallen all on the floor. So then I spent time sweeping that up. Then I went back into the kitchen and forgot what I was doing and looked on the floor and saw, oh, I need the dustbin and brush. I do find that I get distracted a lot. Even things like, oh, I need to message someone on WhatsApp. So I open WhatsApp, see a message from someone that I hadn't seen, and I reply to that and put my phone down. And then 10 minutes later I think, oh yes, I actually opened WhatsApp to message that particular person. That I told you about the learner who'd had loads and loads of problems, and I really put myself out for her. Well, did I also tell you that then she gave her laptop back to her work, and then thinking that she could use her personal laptop to do all her assessments? I don't know if I told you that bit. And then she logged on to check everything on Friday and discovered that her laptop was not up to the required specification. So she messaged me about 2:00 on Friday saying that she'd asked every single family member and every single friend for a laptop to borrow, and she was getting really desperate. So I do laugh and think it's not what you know, it's who you know. I spoke to some people and explained the whole situation, and they pulled it out of the bag for me, really. So there was a laptop waiting for her to be collected on Monday, but today, but this morning, but she's very, very young. I said to her on Friday, do not leave the office without logging on and checking it all. And what did she do? She left the office and then messaged me and said, oh, they said the log-on details were being emailed to you. I said, no, I've not got any email details. They won't send any passwords or anything to me. That'll only be sent to you. So then I had to go back and double check all of that. So that has actually taken me quite a lot of time on my day off. And then personally, so the appointment that we had with the solicitor, we're trying to open a bank account, one of these online bank accounts, and my husband put the application in 2 weeks ago. For 2 weeks, it said waiting for GDPR, which is to do with our data protection rules in the United Kingdom. So my husband rang them up and said, oh, can you let me know where things are? And then yesterday or Friday, he just got a message on the app to say the application had been cancelled by him, which it hadn't. So 2 weeks wasted, really. And we've got to get this bank account open before we can move anything further forward. And then tomorrow, one of my meetings is likely to be quite detailed because the person that I'm meeting is really having various sort of problems and issues. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. But everything turns out all right in the end, doesn't it? I always think that. Everything turns out all right at the end. And if it's not all right, it's because it's not the end. That's what I like to think. Maybe that's a bit of a simplistic thing to say. So you can see here in the kitchen, I was trying to get a bit more washing ups done. Generally sorting out the kitchen. My husband did loads of washing up yesterday for us, which was good. And then I did lunch today, which is quite simple lunch. We have pita breads. I no longer purchase bread. Every so often my husband does buy a loaf of bread because he likes cheese on toast, very rarely. But I will no longer buy bread. It's got far too many chemicals and preservatives and basically stuff that's poisoning us. And then I don't know how you all felt about this latest thing that's been in the media about the food that they're going to be giving cows. I just think there's so many ways that we're being affected. The chemicals they add to our food, the chemicals they add to our water. It just feels everywhere. we're bombarded. So I packed up the Wii in the plastic bag. My daughter still wants that, but it's like so old. She's not got anything like that. She's never had like a games console or anything like that. I've kept her well away from that. But we got given this particular one from a neighbour a few doors down. He was going to bin it. And he said, oh, would you fancy having a go and having it? And so she has played with that a couple of times. But I took that out on my last video from behind the television because it was so dusty. And because of that mealybug that I had on some of my plants, it gone dusty and sticky. So I cleaned that all up with some vinegar. And now in the box, you can see in the minute with the video, I've got all the cuddly soft toys that they sit around the bottom of the tree. And they're all the cuddlies that my daughter likes to keep. And we're very strict that anything that's Christmas related all goes away. Because it used to, years ago, it'd sit in her bedroom and would be in those rattan baskets. So I don't want that. And then later on in the video, you'll see my struggles with the lights, trying to get all the lights untangled, which usually we bundle them up. I think that I put the lights away last year. Because when my husband does it, he's very careful to put them all round in a loop. And they're very easy. And I think I unpacked a lot of the tree. Or packed it up, a lot of the tree. Thinking about it, I think I did a video on it actually. I packed a lot of it up. And I think when it got to the lights, I just grabbed them all and shoved them in the end of the box. So obviously I've had the pain of undoing them all this year. The tree we've had now for about 22 years. And do you know, the first year, I think it was the year before we got married. So we didn't live together before we were married. So we bought a house and then we got the house ready and we moved in after we'd been on the honeymoon. But my husband and his mum were in the city the Christmas before. And my mother-in-law was like, oh, like, you know, this Christmas tree is a really good price. So my husband bought it, and then I think it went into my mum's loft until the first Christmas that we were married. And we got some really good lights for Deuce as well, but the lights finished about 6 years ago, and we've got some new LED ones now. My tree is not any sort of theme. I know some people have themed trees and colour coordinated trees. Colour coordinated. My tree is basically everything and anything. I've got things on there from, I don't know, probably the 20s. But I've got quite a lot of things from the 50s and 60s. Things from aunts. Things from grandparents. I've got one ornament that my dad used to put on his tree when he was a tiny little boy. And every year he used to put it on the tree. And he let me have it. So every year I put it on the tree. So we've got lots of different bits and pieces we put on our tree. So you will see me do a video of that. So I'm going to go through some of your comments. Now, thank you very much for your comments. And I know the last couple of weeks I missed a couple of videos. So I'm sorry about that. It's just been so much to kind of keep up with and do. And then obviously the voiceover all takes some time to record. So I'm going to go through some of your comments. Thank you so much to those of you that take time to add comments. Whether they're long or short, whatever they are, I love reading them. So the first comment is from Rainey Milliman. Hello Rainey, I hope you and your husband are well. Rainey says, our Thanksgiving is similar to others with roasted turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes and gravy. We do butternut squash instead of yams. Do you know, I don't think I've ever had yams. Are they like, I think I bought some yams actually. I don't think they ever grew. Are they similar to, do they grow like potatoes? We also have rolls or biscuits of some kind. I make an apple pie and a pumpkin pie, and yes, we have leftovers forever. Sometimes you just warm up a plate of everything and my husband will take turkey sandwiches to work. I often save the carcass to make broth and then add diced onions, celery, carrots and make into a soup, and then add dumplings, which is delicious with turkey broth. Some people do a roast turkey for Christmas as well. However, we grew up with having a roast ham instead. We have so few family members left, so we make our own Christmas tradition. My husband makes Reuben sandwiches for us a favourite of ours and not something we have very often. So I replied and said that sounded lovely, but I was asking what Reuben sandwiches were. I'd never heard about that, and I certainly have never had pumpkin pie. And Rainey says Reuben sandwiches are made with corned beef, sauerkraut and Swiss cheese. That's interesting. I didn't know sauerkraut was popular in America. I wonder whether is that from German settlers. Traditional dressing is Thousand Island, but he uses French dressing instead. They are assembled with the outside of the sandwich spread with butter, so it will get toasty like a grilled cheese sandwich. It's interesting. I have to Google a picture. Pumpkin pie is delicious, but it is essential that a lot of cinnamon, ginger and nutmeg are used, or the pie is rather boring. A big dollop of whipped cream takes it over the top. Wow. I love the fact that all my American followers have just been having all these celebrations. So different to us in terms of the things that we do here. Next comment is from Amanda Matthews. And Amanda says, your home will never be sorted until everything in it has a home. If there is no space for a home for something, you need then to let it go of something you don't need. Yeah, that is a good point, Amanda. And you will all be very pleased to know that I did another, just before I went to Tesco today, I had to go to the pharmacy because I put in a prescription for my daughter in September and I haven't heard a single thing. I've had to move to a different pharmacy because the pharmacy that we did use is closed down. And so I'd organised sort of to go to more of a family-run one. And I've not heard anything. So I had to sort that out and I thought, oh, well, that's quite close to the charity shop. So that big bag of all that stuff that came out of my loft, I took that. And there are a few sets and different bits that are brand new. And I also took those baubles that for some strange reason I bought from Primark last year. They were £8 reduced to £1. And I think because I saw that they were so cheap, I just bought them because they were such a bargain. But I took them into the charity shop because I thought that'll be nice. Someone could either buy them themselves or get them for like a gift for someone. And as soon as she saw these baubles, she went, are you registered as Gift Aid? Because obviously they can make more money, can't they? And she saw that I was bringing in some good things. So that was good. And I've had an email. So and as you all know, the charity shop have made over £100 for my stuff so far. So let's hope that increases a bit more. Miranda says, get the cards written so they can be posted second class in good time for less cost. Teague says, if you haven't got a place for the rugs, then you need to get rid of them. And Carolyn says, if you have several jobs, if you want the utility room, just do it. I know what you're saying. I just need to get some thought into it and measure some things up, I think, to see what's feasible. I know many of you think, oh, stop procrastinating and get on with it. But there are a few things to kind of work through. So next comment is from Cynthia Miller. I really, really like that advent calendar you were working on. You went to a lot of work. Our Thanksgiving went swimmingly. The meal tasted great. There were a lot of laughter and storytelling, and my grandkids put up the Christmas decorations. We also celebrated one of my grandson's 23rd birthday. And I replied and said that sounds like they had a lovely time. 23 years old. How nice it is that they've spending time with each other on such an important day. And Cynthia says that she's actually got another grandson who's 23 and a granddaughter who's going to be 25 at the beginning of January. And she says they're such a joy and a big help to us. I think that sounds like they're a joy to each other. Oh, that's lovely. Karen Howard says, what fun time you have with both of you with the advent calendars. Lucky to have two. And you know, it was so sweet this morning because I was up a little bit later and my husband had come down and started doing breakfast. Actually, he made me a pancake and brought a pancake up to me because he knew that I was feeling tired. But when I was then getting dressed, my daughter called up, Mummy, I've got my first hunt. It's so funny because it's like she's telling me like it's news to me. So I said, all right. So I said, she said, am I going to have time to do it before school? I said, well, you need to get ready really, really quick. And then you might. But her 2 chocolate ones, she's got those 2 chocolate advent calendars. Can you believe they both fell down by the back of the piano? And you really can't move the piano easily. And she did ask if Daddy could get it out back of the piano, but I got a big kind of stick thing and got one of them out, but the other one I can't reach, so I'm going to ask my husband to do that one. But this hunt was only 2 clues. And she said, oh, that wasn't that long, she said, this one. She said, but I still loved it. And she got some little cinnamon roll, little like post-it notes, which she was very pleased about. She then wanted to take them to school. And I said, well, anything that gets taken to school, you need to be prepared that it might get lost. Sandy says, I love the idea of the hunts you do for your daughter. Such a sweet thing to do for her. Thank you. Nana Tracy says, a fun-packed video. Virginia Goss says, happy Thanksgiving to all Americans that are celebrating. Canada celebrates in October. Emma, I love the advent calendar. My mum, bless her, always hung it in the front room. Because there were 7 of us, she would only fill 7 pockets and would do this every night. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Imagine doing that for 7. What, it was at one like I was showing you? Regina, was it with a little, she was actually putting items in for 7? Wow. My goodness, it was a special part of our childhood memories. Oh, for us younger ones, there was an X marked on our kitchen calendar each morning, so we knew how many days were left. I love watching you buzz about your home. You've come so far and it shows. I would like to give you an idea on your laundry. When you hang your clothes about to dry, why don't you try using an oscillating floor fan? It will cause your clothes to move, like on a clothesline on a breezy day, and aid in drying it faster. Just a thought. I know it works because I do it, even though I have a dryer. I also have 2 portable clotheslines set up. I enjoyed your video today, as always. I like that idea. I'm going to give that a go. I've got my fan that I use in the summertime when it gets hot in the bedroom. So I could bring that down and see how that works, particularly when I've got things that I really need to get dry quick. Great idea. Thank you for that lovely comment. Andrea says, I'm loving watching you get ready for Christmas, especially the advent calendar, filling it up for your mini-me. What were you writing on the notes of paper in each day? That was what I was writing with my little hunts. That says little clues as to where to look. Although I put one of her little goodies, I put on top of her wardrobe. And when she got into bed the other day, she went, what's that on there by my planets? You know, she's got a solar system that she made on top of the wardrobe. She said, what's that? I said, never you mind. You mustn't look up there. Oh. So Andrea said that she had a lovely time for Thanksgiving. And Andrew also had pumpkin pie. Yummy. Carrie Rawson. Well, I think it would be rude not to get another basket. Another lovely video. What I've done is I've put it on my Christmas list. So I'm hoping that someone in my family is going to get me that for my Christmas list. Nan Holmes says, hi Emma from North Carolina. Happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Americans, with some little turkey emojis. And then Erin Craig says, you have a great channel. Thank you, Erin. Watching from Brookville, Ontario, Canada. Quick question. Do you have any drying racks for your laundry? Maybe set up a few. Would be easy for you drying your stuff. I'd be lost without my dryer. So what I need to do is I need to get a new clothes horse. Does anyone anywhere else call it a clothes horse? Or is that just a United Kingdom thing? I did have 2 and one broke. The one that broke I was really frustrated about because it was expensive. And I spent a lot of money on because I thought, oh, that'll last me for decades. And then it broke. And the one that I've got at the moment, that was a second-hand one, and that is also broken. So I need to get a new one. Carolyn says, all those little items in the calendars, lol. Oh. And Carolyn also commented about the donations that I'm getting rid of. good news. I like it. I really enjoy getting rid of stuff. I do feel the longer that I do this, the easier it becomes. I really do. I know that I still do keep hold of things, and there's some things that I do have that sentimental attachment to. And for example, I'll be honest, on the way to the charity shop today, I suddenly had this certain thought about a dress I was getting rid of that was my daughter's, and I thought, I feel like I might regret getting rid of that dress. I feel like I might regret it. And I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dress out of the bag, and then I'll bring it back home. And I might feel able to put it in the next charity bag. And I know this all sounds like, I don't know, not sane. I don't know. It's just the thought process. I feel like if I then see her wearing that dress on a photo, I'm worried that I might regret getting rid of it. So I thought, well, I'm not going to start rummaging back through all the bag. I'm not going to not take the bag. I'll just take that one small dress out, and then I can think about it and not force myself to get rid of something and then wish that I hadn't. So that's what I did. And as I said, they were very pleased to get that big donation. I'd love them to really, over the course of the next year, I'm going to keep on supporting them. And I'd love them to keep on emailing me, telling me how much money they've raised. So we're now in December. So for the whole month of November, anything that I made for my channel is going to go to that charity that I talked to you about that helps people when they're on hard times. I like to see it as being a bit of a safety net for people that, struggling, helping people get back onto their feet. They run a supermarket where someone can pay £5 but get a massive great bag of groceries, but they still feel like they're paying something, and they help people in lots of different ways. Now, one of my videos that I think it probably ended up being the first. I don't know whether it's the 30th of November, but either way, I'm going to wait until the money comes in for that video, because that ended up being one of my most popular. It's now on 2,700 views, which I'm really pleased about. So that one will end up making a bit more money than some of my others. So I'm going to add that to the total. So I definitely got over £100, which is good. So I'm going to donate that. And I've had a chat with my husband, and especially for Christmas, what we're actually going to do is we are going to double however much money has been made in November. So we'll give that as our donation. So thank you very much to those of you that watched our video, who liked videos and commented and watched some of my own old videos, and particularly those of you that watched my video the whole way through and then comment on something right at the end. Thank you very, very much for that, because that really does help with all the adverts. So thank you once again for watching my videos and for watching this video and for your support and kindness. You're such a group of positive, inspiring, kind people. And I very much appreciate your support and encouragement to help me get this far. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!